If I say the name Kobe Bryant, what comes to mind? Basketball? Maybe some shots? Maybe some championships? Maybe the word MVP? Maybe now the word Hall of Famer? What comes to mind? Well, if it's basketball, or if it's writing, or if it's shots, or if it's 81 points, then you miss the genius of Kobe Bryant. Let's take a look at what that means. I want to share something with you. There's a great samurai warrior, Miyamoto Musashi, and he wrote in his masterpiece, The Book of Five Rings. He wrote, "If you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything." I want you to sit with that for a second, and I want you to know this. It's been said through those writings that excellence, therefore, excellence in anything increases your potential in everything. That is the genius of Kobe Bryant. But let's go further, because Aristotle put it like this: we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. We talk about habits all the time here. But what I really want you to understand is your behavior is equal to your habits. What you do is what matters. What you do when no one's watching, what you put in your mouth when you're not on a diet, when you're not, is what matters. It's your behavior. But doing well is not about what you know. It's not about your education or your sophistication. It's about how you behave. Because we can know everything. We can know the technical sides to things. We can know what to do. Because if I put an apple and an apple pie in front of you, you know which one is better for you. But the majority of our country, the majority of our world, on most days will pick the apple pie. You see, because we know what's better, but our results become of how we behave. That is the genius that was Kobe Bryant. You see, because what people run to, if you listen to anybody that spoke about him, especially since his death, which was tragic, and God bless him and his family and everything around him and his daughter. But when you hear people talk about him, they very rarely talk about his basketball prowess. Because but I want you to understand is this, is that what he really truly mastered, it wasn't the shot. It wasn't defense. Because you want to know something? Most basketball players, even the best ever, miss more shots than they make. So there is no mastery there. What Kobe Bryant mastered was the art of showing up. What he mastered was beating everybody to the gym, because before he could ever take a shot, before he could ever lace up his shoes, before he could ever do those insane cardio workouts that people talk about how he could just go and go and go and go, before he could do any of that, he had to get his ass out of bed. He had to actually get up. He had to actually set that intention. He had to actually show up. And let's go back to what Miyamoto Musashi said. If you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. So when we talk about Kobe and we talk about what he did on the basketball court in the 5 championships and all the MVPs and everything that he did, but what he truly mastered was his behavior, was that he was gonna outwork everybody when no one was watching. It's easy to get there and want to be great when there's packed stadium at Staples Center and the lights are on and it's game 7. Yeah. But the only possibility to get that, the only possibility to even be in that environment was the hours and hours and hours, were those early mornings of getting up when nobody knew what he was doing. You see, if you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. Because let's look at his life. After he got done playing basketball, he went on to win an Oscar. Again, that is the championship trophy of writers and directors in that world. It's the championship. But what did he know? He knew that he had to outwork. He had to become that. He wasn't a writer, but he won an Oscar for writing for his movie. Because again, he proves excellence in anything increases your potential in everything. Yes, he was gifted in basketball. Yes, he had the height. Yes, his dad was a player too, so he had some genetic disposition to get there, for sure. But to be known as one of the greatest ever, to be known as a Hall of Famer, it's because he created excellence. He created the behavior. He created the mastery of showing up each and every day. He did the same thing. There was no place for his daughter to play basketball, right? There was not enough leagues. There was not enough. And so he built the league. But even with the Oscar, it's really cool if you hear the people the team that he had around him, just like he had a team in basketball, when he had a team around him to build that they tell stories that he would be there hours before anybody else showed up. And he would have on their whiteboard, he'd have things written out, ready to tell them when they walked in the door. It's no different than what he did on the court. Because if you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. We must take that genius of what that was, of what Kobe was doing, of what the great samurai was doing, of what the great Aristotle talked about. Because it's all possible. You see, we want different. We want a better way. We want a bigger life. We want a better job, a better bank account. We want better relationships. And we think there's a magic bullet. We think there's a secret sauce. The secret sauce is to master showing up. That's the secret sauce. And the beauty of it is this: you must start small. You must start small because, again, to have excellence in anything, to increase your potential in everything, you must start small. You must start with things that you can do. Everybody is different. Everybody. And Optimal Self, we talk about being the best version of you. Well, you've got to be able to see the best version of you. What does he or she look like? What is she wearing? What is he wearing? What do they do? Because when you know what that looks like, then you just ask yourself, what would that person do? Well, that person would get out of bed. All right, let's master that. Day in and day out and day in and day out. Well, they would hydrate because the control center, our brain, the one thing that means the most, right? Our number one principle at Optimal Self is hydration. We teach you everything there is about hydration, why it works, why over time it's just going to get better and better and better and better. And that the brain fog goes away, all these things. But everybody can do that. We must master the small thing. We must master getting up. We must master the little thing first. Because when you do, you increase your potential in everything. Don't let it slip you by. Don't think that you have to have this great overhaul change. You don't. Don't think that you aren't good enough, because you are. Because every single one of us can do that. Every one of us can set that tone by what we do the moment we wake up. The power is in your hands. Don't give that power to anybody else. Master the art of showing up. Understand that your behavior is what is leading to every result you have. Start with something small. Put the streaks together. Do it day in and day out, and day in and day out. Don't look for a result. Just keep showing up. Because even through all that work, even through all the accolades that are now that line Kobe's house, that his girls get to see, that the Hall of Fame induction and all those things, that he never knew if that was possible. He never knew that it was going to happen. There were no guarantees. The only thing that he could guarantee was that he got his ass up every day, and then he worked hard as he physically and mentally and emotionally could. And he did that in every aspect of his life, because how you are here is how you are everywhere. You choose. All right. That's what I got for you today. Please jump on over optimalself.today. You want more of this? You want more to see the genius that is out there in so many people. Well, we want to bring it to you. We want to help you. All right. So please jump over to optimalself.today. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please give us a subscribe. Please leave us a comment. We love it. It helps the algorithm. It helps us push it out to more people. More than anything, until next time, get your ass out there and be the best version of you.